2%. So big sell-off perhaps expected there. Just keep an eye out on Yes Bank. And a couple of other stocks that deserve mention in pre-opening. One of them is Oberoi Realty. The bookings halved this time around. So there was very weak numbers that came through from Oberoi Realty. And of course, LTI Mindtree is the other one. Canara Bank comes out with numbers today, so keep an eye out on that as well. And then a couple of the others like JSW Steel that was better than expected. So these are the guys that have reported post-market hours. But let's talk about the larger numbers now. Krishnan ASV of HDFC Securities joins in to give us his view on the numbers. There's no complaints. In fact, leaders across the way, right? Both Kotak and ICICI Bank. But what's your pick of the pack?
Yeah, hi, very good morning, Sonia, and the rest of the team. So, yeah, I mean, hardly anything that you can call out. Fairly strong numbers. ICICI Bank remains our top pick. They have got the runway and they are building buffers for the future as well. So I think there's a profitability overshoot that's happening across the system right now. And any bank that helps build buffers for, in a prudent manner is probably much better off. Yeah.
Hi, Krishnan. Good morning. What about Kotak Mahindra Bank? How are those numbers?
Fairly impressive again. A beat on most parameters on P&L, but it's also on a weak deposit growth. So when the scramble, in this environment where there's a scramble for deposits, I think Kotak will be a little more desperate. So I think the NIM compression could be sharper, but of course it helps that they are looking at a lot of unsecured retail advances, the mix of retail advances moving up. So there could be some offset there. But in general, I think from a deposit standpoint, I think ICICI Bank is far better placed than Kotak.
There has been, in terms of stock, it's seen continuous upgrades, right? I mean, price targets are being taken up on the back of earnings for the last many quarters now. I think the average price target on ICICI Bank is 1150 or so, approximately somewhere there. But there has been some selling which has come through, FI selling, and that has kept the stock under check. You think these numbers can do it for the stock from here? What's your sense?
So to be very honest, last 2 quarters now, I think starting the September quarter and now the December quarter, I think the extent of surprises have reduced, at least for us. And I suspect that's probably true for the rest of the system as well. That's in the case of ICICI Bank. I think the magnitude of positive surprise is definitely reducing. So I think it's largely getting priced in. People know this is a category leader now, and so to that extent, I think you are building in a fair amount of bullish optimism here. So I would assume that this has again been a very steady quarter, a very impressive all-round performance. And so, yeah, as I said, we have a very high conviction buy here.
High conviction buy on ICICI Bank. Just 2 quick questions, Krishnan. One, would you raise your EPS estimates on any of the banks that have come out with numbers so far? Is there scope for PE expansion? And 2, you have Axis Bank's numbers today. What is your expectation?
So on the first one, in ICICI Bank, it was hardly a marginal tweak to our numbers. I think 2 to 4% is what I remember. The Kotak Mahindra Bank was a little sharper, but then we were expecting NIM compression to have come through in Q3. That hasn't happened. So to that extent, there's a base effect there. But in general, there's been very good marginal upgrades, as I said, in ICICI Bank. Axis Bank, we assume will have a stellar quarter again. We are, a little more around what's happening in the rest of the businesses. Actually, those are struggling a little bit. So I think we'll watch out for more commentary from Axis Bank around what those other businesses are up to as well. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. So those are the top brass of the banking space. Axis Bank comes out on numbers today. ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, very good set of numbers coming through. But as we were telling you, the stock in focus right now is Yes Bank. So just pull up Yes Bank for you. It's down almost about 10% in pre-opening, at least the last time I checked. Lata's here to give us the latest on that. Lata, over to you.